All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest installment of our Q&A series and the first one to be done on Facebook Live. Let's see. I'm meteorologist Steve Lavoie, and in observance of severe weather and flood safety week in South Carolina, we will be answering questions from our Facebook and Twitter followers related to thunderstorms, tornadoes, and flooding. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started. Spring is the season of transition from cold to warm weather, so let's begin with a question related to thunderstorms and winter precipitation. Facebook follower and top fan Jackson Ruby Dean asked, what causes thunder and lightning to occur when snow, sleet, or freezing rain is falling, and why is it unlikely for this to occur in South Carolina? This is a great question, and in order to answer it, we need to cover how a thunderstorm forms. There are several ingredients that need to come together for a thunderstorm to develop, including moisture, a lifting mechanism, and sufficient instability. Hi there, Rod. Thanks for joining us. Getting back to this here, when a warm, moist air at the surface is forced upwards into the atmosphere under the right conditions, it will result in the development of clouds and precipitation. The type of cloud normally associated with thunderstorms is called cumulonimbus, and when it is mature, it's typically that towering anvil-shaped cloud we see. These clouds build so high in the atmosphere that temperatures within the upper reaches of the cloud are typically below freezing, and that's where we actually see some ice crystals form, even in the summertime. Thunderstorm updrafts and downdrafts will create a region where we have both the liquid rain droplets and these ice crystals. And it's believed that the collision of these water droplets and ice crystals are what build up a little bit of an electrical charge within the cloud. And over time that'll build up, and we'll see lightning as the result of a rapid release of the built up charge. And it basically happens when it connects with the opposite charge, either somewhere within the cloud or on the ground itself. We don't normally see the collision of ice crystals and rain droplets in wintertime clouds. Those are usually associated with the nimbostratus type of cloud, and those are much more shallow in our atmosphere. So it takes a particularly strong winter storm for lightning to develop, often with the support of some of the upper levels of the atmosphere. Since thundersnow is a rare event in itself, it is exceedingly rare here in the Palmetto State because, of course, we don't get a lot of wintertime weather to begin with. So that's basically the answer to Jackson's question. Moving along, Twitter user Zarita Floridian sent us a couple of questions. Her first questions are, what are some of the best ways to be alerted about severe weather and know when the threat is over? And once our office is aware of the severe weather, what channels of communication do we use to get that out to you, the general public? And finally, which of these are available when the power goes out? It is a good idea to get into the habit of checking the weather forecast on a daily basis at weather.gov, including our weather story, so you have a general idea of what to expect. We also post on Facebook and Twitter at least once per day, and more frequently when severe weather is expected or ongoing. And new for 2022, our office may conduct Facebook Lives just like we're doing now. We'll do this for significant weather systems in the days leading up to the event. And we actually did a couple of Facebook Lives, for those that may recall, back in January for the ice storm, and then there was a snow event right behind that. Other ways to be alerted about incoming severe weather include NOAA Weather Radio, wireless emergency alerts, which are automatically sent to your phone when you're under a tornado warning or a higher end severe thunderstorm and flash flood warning, your local favorite TV or radio station, and finally you can get phone, text, and email alerts from SCEMD when you sign up for Code Red Alerts through them. NWS warnings have a specific expiration time, though they can be canceled early depending on how the situation evolves. So the best way to know when severe weather is over for your particular location is to just continue to closely monitor your media outlet of choice as the situation progresses. If the power does go out, NOAA Weather Radio is probably your best source for the most up-to-date weather information. All right, and Zarita actually did provide another question. She asked, when buying a new home, where can one find out what locations are historically flood prone, especially based on the historic 2015 flooding event? This is actually an excellent question and one that I asked myself when I moved here to South Carolina last year. For those not familiar, a historic flood event did impact much of the forecast area in early 2015. While we don't have specific maps of flooding from that event, FEMA has a website where you can enter the address of your prospective home to find out if it is located in a flood zone. And our final previously submitted question was, how do I report storm damage and flooding to the NWS, and what types of reports are you looking for? The best way to send us storm reports of all kinds is through our social media accounts. Pictures and or video of what you're seeing are most valuable to us, along with the time and specific location of the damage. The more details you can provide us, the better. When it comes to wind damage, we are looking for reports of uprooted or downed trees, large branches or wires down, and damage to infrastructure. We would appreciate hail reports of any size and measured and weighed if you have that available to you. For flooding, reports of streams rising over their banks, roads completely covered in water, and roads closed due to flooding, and any other significant flooding you might see in areas that don't typically flood are all really valuable to our forecasters. Finally, during a tornado situation, we are seeking reports of any visible rotation within the cloud itself, funnel clouds, tornadoes or water spouts, and any damage that you see from the tornado. Now, keep in mind, your safety should be your number one concern during severe weather, so only relay this information to us once you're in a safe location and the threat has passed for you. And with that, another Q&A session has come to a close. As always, I want to thank those who submitted their questions in advance. Our next Q&A topic will be on tropical storms and hurricanes in May, and we have a lot of other great content planned for the year, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, always remain weather ready, and have a great day, everyone.